Does God love us? A reoccurring theme that permeates through the entire Islamic worldview is God's vast love for His creation. The Islamic corpus is full of verses and traditions that speak of God's mercy and special attention to mankind. In the Quran, God mentions how He has ordained mercy on Himself, and our Imams would supplicate to God and invoke His mercy and love that encompassed everything in existence. So what are a few ways we can understand just how much God truly loves us and cares about each and every one of us? Our creation is perhaps the biggest demonstration of God's love for us, as there was a time when none of us ever existed. Yet despite the fact that God has no need for any of His creation, out of His infinite love He brought us out of this state of non-existence and into a world where we can flourish and achieve the best of rewards. He granted us the opportunity to attain eternal and everlasting felicity. The Quran speaks about this quite clearly. Has there not been an endless span of time before man, when he was not yet a thing to be thought of? Our creation allows us to experience the beauty of this world, experience the love of relationships, experience what it meant to be human. But more importantly than all of this, our creation allowed us to experience what is meant to be a servant of God, immersed in His boundless mercy. After having created us, God did not leave us to our own whims and desires, but rather ensured that He sent prophets and guides to facilitate the purpose for which we were created. God provided these prophets and guides with strength and fortitude, gave them miracles to prove their prophethood, and favored them with the most perfect and complete religion, a way of life, to help us in both this world and the next. These representatives of God endured persecution and hardship just so that the flame of monotheism and justice remained alight for us, as the Quran says. Certainly, we have sent our messengers with clear guidance, and we sent down to them the book and the scale, so that humans may conduct themselves with justice. Another sign of God's love for us is His eagerness to hear our prayer. Through the prophets and imams, God gave us the blueprint of how to pray, and He opened the door of supplication and prayer for us so that we could communicate directly with Him, ask Him of our needs, and seek comfort and solace from whatever difficulties we are facing. This is reflected in the verse of the Quran, "When my servants ask you concerning me, then verily I am near. I listen to the prayer of every supplicant whenever he calls to me." God's love becomes even more evident when you begin to reflect over the verses and traditions that speak about His mercy and forgiveness. No matter how many sins a person commits, no matter how bad someone's disobedience and rebellion against God may be, God is always looking for an excuse to encompass us with His generosity and grace. Like a parent who is in anguish at seeing the child in trouble, God similarly looks for opportunities to shower us with His mercy and turn our destiny around for good. A tradition from Imam Sadiq illustrates this beautifully, where he says, "On the day of judgment, God will forgive people in such a way that no one would have ever been able to imagine the extent of such mercy."